What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys two exercises that will grow your butt without growing your thighs. Now, I've had a number of clients come over to me and their main goals has always been, can I get a rounder bum without getting bulky thighs? And these exercises that I'm going to show today are going to do just that. They're going to make your bum rounder, firmer, tighter, if I can say that, but without making your thighs too bulky or too muscular. Now, I must say one thing, guys, it takes a very long time to grow muscles, so you should not fear looking too bulky. I've seen this too many times where at the gym, some people avoid the weight section. Even though they want to go there, they avoid it because one, they're either too intimidated by the crowd over at the weight section, or two, they're just afraid of becoming too bulky. I don't think that this should be a fear. So if you are tired of the cardio machine or you're tired of the functional workouts, then come over to the weight section, feel some resistance training. It's awfully good for you. It will make you look better. It will make you feel better. So do not be afraid of looking too, again, bulky. But let's jump on to these two exercises. The first exercise is the glute kickback. This is an isolation exercise, meaning that it will target your glutes and your glutes only. So the first piece of equipment that you're going to need is an ankle strap. You want to tie this around your ankles thoroughly. You don't want it too loose or too tight. So make sure that you tie it around so that it's firm. It allows you to move the weight, but it's not too tight or it's not too loose. It can be very difficult to move a lot of weight when doing this exercise. You'll find that the more load you put up on the weight, the more you lose your form and you start using leverage from other parts of your body. I recommend starting with a weight that you can comfortably do for 10 to 15 reps. Any weight that you cannot do for 10 reps or more is too heavy for this exercise, because this is not necessarily a muscle building exercise like the squat, but it's more of a muscle shaper. So more reps and more muscle-mind connection is required when you are doing this exercise. Once you've selected the right weight for you, you can now move over to the setup stage of this exercise. Once you have a firm grip, slightly lean over and position yourself at an angle rather than standing upright. Your back at this point should be 45 degrees to the floor. The next step is to slightly bend your knee and go on your toes. Even though this exercise is called the kickback, I like to think about it as a swing back rather than a kickback. So you want to envision yourself swinging back rather than kicking back. Your leg should go at an upward swinging motion rather than straight back, placing more tension on your glutes rather than your thighs. Once at the top of the movement, I want you guys to try and squeeze your bum for at least 1 second. 2 seconds is even better before lowering the weight back down. You feel more muscle connection by doing this, and you actually feel more tension on your glutes. So you understand the movement way better when you pause at the top. So if you can pause for 1 or 2 seconds, that is ideal. One thing that is often overlooked is the lowering part of the rep. So an effective rep is when you can lift the weight up with the same tension and control as when you can bring it down. Too often times we concentrate on bringing the weight up, but then we just forget about bringing it down with control and we just drop it. So for this exercise, for any exercise, but more so with this exercise, you want to lower the weight down with as much control and with as much tempo as you had when lifting and kicking back the weight up. If you do not have access to a cable cross machine or you don't have access to ankle straps, there are other alternative exercises that you can do for this exercise. The first one is a donkey kickback with a resistance band. Now, you don't have to have the resistance bands, but resistance bands will help with your balance one, but also they'll add just that much more resistance when doing the exercise. Another way of doing this is standing upright and not kneeling over. But I don't recommend this if you're still beginning, because if you're beginning, you probably don't have the best balance or stability. So start off on your knees and then you can integrate going up and standing upright. Okay, moving on to the second exercise. When you want to target that lower portion of your glute, that lower portion of your glutes, you want to be doing a heel elevated dumbbell lunge. Now, you don't have to elevate your feet in this one. You can do it on a flat surface, but I recommend using an elevated platform such as a stepper. If you do not have one, then it's totally fine. The first thing that you want to do here is make sure that you have a firm grip on the dumbbells and that your back is upright. You can have your back slightly leaned forward. So if it's like that and you just slightly lean forward, then that's okay. But one thing that you don't want to do is curve your back. Why? This will remove any pressure or any load from your glutes, and it will place it on your lower back, increasing your chances of injury. So always make sure that your back is either upright or you're slightly leaning forward. And the easiest way to do this is just shrugging your shoulders back, keeping your chest up, and looking not directly down, but at an angle, looking at a surface or an object on the surface. Your front leg should be slightly bent. What you don't want to do is put all the load on your joints. So by slightly bending your knee, you're gonna remove all that pressure from your knee joint and place it on the quad and also on the glutes. If you place it on your knee, you're gonna feel significant pain on your joint, and that's what we're trying to avoid here. So always slightly bend your knee. One thing that you need to be aware of is the distance between your two legs. Having a shorter stride will target your quads. Having a longer stride will target the back of your leg or your hamstrings. What you want to do is almost be in the middle, where it's not too short, but it's also not too long. Having it right in the middle is going to place a lot of emphasis on your glutes. This will still target your quads and your hamstrings. It will place a lot of tension on your glutes. A good indicator that you've got the right stride is when you lean down or when you lunge down, your tibia or your lower portion of your leg is at a slight angle rather than upright, and your knee is in line with your toes. Make sure that when you are coming up from this exercise, you are pushing through your heels down at the surface, and that you are not using your lower back. So you don't want this exercise to almost replicate a good morning, but you want to just push up with your heel. So what you want to do, place your feet on the surface. Do not press up with your toes, and do not press up with your lower back. Make sure that you are pressing or pushing down as hard as you can on the surface and pushing up through your heels. This again will target your glutes way more. You'll feel more tension and almost feel that burn on your glutes rather than feeling it on your other muscles. Okay guys, so those are my 2 recommended exercises to grow and shape your glutes to that rounder, firmer and tighter bump. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please do like and share to a friend. If you are new here, please do subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one.